All right, now we got to talk about the losing team. Milwaukee, what was this? Y'all picked a terrible time to have the worst game you've had, arguably this entire playoffs. Like, what was that? Really, what was that? Y'all hit four threes. Four threes. Y'all made four threes today. Four. Boston hit 22. You're not winning a basketball game if your opponent hits 22 threes and y'all hit four. Giannis picked the worst time to have the worst game of the postseason for him. He was terrible. 10 for 26 is not good. And I can't even really sit back and say it's completely his fault. The team just wasn't playing good. Because here's the thing. If Milwaukee's not hitting their threes, they're screwed because defenses are just going to crowd the paint. If you can't hit a three, you can't show them that you can consistently hit from beyond the arc, which they couldn't do in this game, then guess what? They're going to sag off you and crowd the paint. That's what Boston was doing the entire game. They were seeing that the Milwaukee Bucks were struggling to shoot the basketball. They couldn't hit any of their outside shots. They definitely couldn't make a three. So guess what? Boston's like, we're going to crowd the paint and we're going to take Giannis out the game. And when no one else is hitting threes and the defense is crowding the paint, guess what? Giannis is going to start to struggle because he's not getting any space to drive. Oh, boy. Milwaukee, y'all went out sad. I commend you guys. I really do. I commend y'all for being able to make this a 7-game series. You went toe for toe with this Boston Celtics team and took it to 7 games without Chris Middleton. Your second best player did not play the entire series, and you had it go down to 7 games. That's tough, bro. That is really tough. You know, Chris Middleton definitely makes this a different series. I don't know if that means Milwaukee wins. I don't know if it means they lose because there are times where Chris Middleton can also be streaky, but he's definitely more of an asset than a liability. And there are moments where you're like, yeah, down the stretch, yeah, they could have won that one. Yeah, they could have won that one. Down the stretch in Game 6, when there were moments where the Bucks could have came back and taken it, if Chris Middleton's in the game, that's a different conversation. They could definitely pull it off. But, you know, missing out on Chris Middleton definitely hurt them. It's a rough season for them. It's a rough loss. Season's pretty much over there for them. You know, you guys were the defending champions and you go out in the second round. That's definitely gotta hurt. That's gotta suck. But, you know, Bucks fans could always just sit back and say, hey, we didn't have Chris Middleton the entire series. We took it to 7 games. We gave it a shot. Boston is a hell of a team. They're the best defensive team in the league. They have so much depth. Guys coming off their bench. And when you have Grant Williams playing the way he played, I mean, what are you going to do? Drew Holiday didn't really do much for you. Brook Lopez was trying, but, I mean, if you have Brook Lopez doing what he's doing and he has to be one of your main guys, you're probably not going to win. Bobby Portis couldn't really be as effective as he wanted to be in this game. And Giannis, again, started off the game. The first quarter, Giannis was on it. He had 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. I'm thinking, man, Giannis is about to have a game of a century. He's about to go for like 40, 17, and 12 or something like that. Didn't come close. After that first quarter, Boston realized that Milwaukee was struggling from hitting outside and said, we're going to crowd the paint. We're going to take Giannis out the game. We're going to force these guys to beat us with their three-point shooting. Not to mention, Boston was hitting their threes, so they were perfectly fine testing those other guys. If Allen was going to hit a three, they're cool with it. If Portis was going to hit a three, they're cool with it. If Brook Lopez was going to hit a three, they're cool with it. If Drew hits a three, they're cool with it. Hell, if Giannis hit a three, they're cool with it. But we're not letting Giannis get inside the paint. And because of that, you could tell they struggled. They really struggled. Giannis specifically struggled because he couldn't get any space. And he ended up getting a bunch of offensive fouls. The officiating in this game was terrible, but what else is new? It is what it is. You can't let it affect the game. It just happens. But man, what a tough loss for Milwaukee. Season ending right here, the defending champions. And this is really crazy. This is really crazy because the Suns play later on tonight. The Suns could very well get eliminated. And if they lose to Dallas, that means both teams that were in the finals last year would have gotten eliminated in the second round. That would have been crazy. And at that point, if you got Dallas, you got craziness, man. You know, I'm not going to lie. If Dallas wins, I hope we get another Miami-Dallas situation because that would be hella cool in the finals, you know. It's like Miami seems to find a way to meet up with Dallas every decade, so let's make it happen. Come on, Luka. I'm rooting for Luka in Game 7. Luka Magic. I'm sorry, CP3. This might be your last chance to win a chip. Who knows? I don't know. You're really starting to look like you're aging, and you've been poor over the last 4 games in that series. But man, let me get some of that Luka Magic tonight. Game 7. Get to the conference finals, and let's see if Luka can take down Steph and Clay. But damn, I really would love to see Dallas and Miami in the finals. That would be very interesting. But yeah, Milwaukee, season ends here. It's unfortunate. Not much you really have to say. Again, if you're them, you just say if Chris Middleton's healthy, we most likely move on. That's the kind of takeaway you got to take. Also, you got to be able to perform better than that. I don't know what happened to you guys. You got worse shooting because Game 6, y'all 3-point shooting just got bad. It got bad down the stretch. They were letting y'all try these threes, and y'all were just missing. And because you had Tatum going off, you couldn't be able to make up the difference. So they just said, let's apply that in Game 7, and they did, especially in the second half. It took over. They really started to apply that where they're like, we're just not going to let Giannis get to the paint. Y'all keep shooting threes, and let's see what happens. What do you get from that? 4 for 33. That's what you got for it. 4 of 33 shooting from the three-point line for the Bucks tonight. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Absolutely nothing. But it is what it is, you know. Milwaukee, again, it's tough, but you didn't have Middleton. Regroup. Next season, you have a great shot. I mean, it's not like Milwaukee's going anywhere. You'll still have the same guys, maybe want to add something, but I don't know. Because again, with Middleton, they're a much more effective team. So I'm not exactly sure if would you sit back and say, yeah, we need to add something to Milwaukee. I guess it'd be nice to add another piece on the bench or something, or another shooter to this team. But really, your second best player was out of the series. So I don't even think it's a situation where Milwaukee is going to be like, yeah, we got to try and retool everything. Nah, you're in a good situation. You almost won this series without your second best player. So just get him back next year, stay healthy, and try it again. You can run it back next year. You guys are in a good position. Boston was just on it today. You know, everybody was shooting well from the three. That doesn't always happen for the Celtics, but when they hit their threes, man, they are a tough team to beat. They are a very tough team to beat. Tatum and Brown are a very tough duo to deal with, and they got a lot of depth off the bench, a lot of guys that can come in and make plays, and it's tough for them. It's definitely tough to deal with them. Miami will be dealing with them in the conference finals. We'll see how they fare. But Milwaukee, it is what it is. Your season comes to an end here. You won the championship last year. This year, you get eliminated in the second round. Which, you know, it is what it is because you did play a Game 7 last year and you won that one. This year, you play Game 7, you didn't win it. Hey, that's just how it goes. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. That's just how sports are. It is what it is. At the end of the day, the Milwaukee Bucks will be fine. Get Middleton back. Stay healthy next year. You'll be able to compete for a title. With that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.